So it's almost time to start storing the root crops in my redneck root cellar. And this year I wanted to try and get rid of some of the condensation that seemed to build up in the root cellar last time. So what I'm going to do is actually install a vent in the cover. I'm making the vent out of PVC pipe, and it's very simple. I'm just using parts that I had on hand. I'm just using PVC that I had on hand. So instead of an elbow, I'm using this corner piece, but just an elbow would be fine. This 3-way is I'm going to use, so I'm going to actually have 2 vents coming out of it. A couple of vent pieces to hold the screening material in place. A connector to come down onto the pipe, onto the lid, and then a piece to come up over the top. These 3, as I said, are just, they go in like this. And like this. And then this sits on here like that. Now this is all on, this is actually a threaded piece, so it'll thread onto here like this. Do this with one hand. So this will sit on top of the cover and give me 2 vents going in. And then this piece will connect down here and fit through the lid. And then this piece will just lock it into place. It's just a connector sleeve that fits over the end, and it sandwiches the lid in between this down pipe and this piece underneath. Got screening, and that's just to stop any rodents or insects from entering into the can through these pieces. Like I said, if you just have an elbow, that's all you need. I didn't have an elbow with enough parts to make it, so I'm making it out of this 3-way. So I've got the lid, and I think I'm going to put the vent right around here at the top so that the air comes up and then out of the vent. And to do that, I'm going to drill a hole through here that the PVC pipe will fit through. To start, I'm going to start with this small drill bit and make the initial pilot hole. And like I said, I guess I'll go right here. Change the speed. Who knew aluminum would be so hard to drill through? Hold on just a minute. So obviously I need to sharpen my drill bit, because that was obviously way more trouble than it was supposed to be. Next, I'm going to open up that hole using a stepped drill bit. And this actually isn't big enough for the 1/2-inch PVC pipe I'm using, so I'm probably going to have to swirl it around a little bit to get it to the right hole. But you want to start with a hole in place, and then this goes in a lot easier than in theory. Trying to start with the step bit would have been difficult, but giving it a hole to begin with and then using the step bit is a lot easier. Now, as I said, that's not big enough, so what I'm going to have to do is put this in and then move it around like that to open it up just a little bit. They do make 1/2-inch ones. I just don't have one handy, and I'm just using what I have on hand. Okay, that should be a good size. And you definitely want this to be a tight fit, a friction fit even. And with one hand it's tough, but I'm going to get a file and just smooth down the edges for one. Now this actually is still, because I had to kind of open up the hole manually, it is still a little large and insects could get in there. So what I'm going to do afterwards is put a bead of silicone caulk around it, and that'll seal up any holes. Okay, I've filed it down, and so now it slides in and out. And as I said, that's too big. So again, just going to put some silicone sealant around it. So now it's just a matter of putting it all together. So I'm going to screw this in, and nothing has to be glued. It's just got to be finger tight. Again, this is threaded. You can just get slip fittings like that is. That just happens to be a threaded fitting. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay, that's in there like that. And now piece of screen over the top. I'm going to press as best I can with one hand this fitting. Okay, I can't do it with one hand, but that's what I'm going to do. Taking a piece of screening, putting this on top and pressing it into place. So this is it with the screen in place. Now this is vinyl screening, not aluminum screening. So in theory, the mice could chew through this to gain access. So I will keep an eye on it. And if I do happen to notice any holes or whatever, I'll take this out, either replace it with the new one or get some aluminum screening to put in. So I'm just gonna trim this down with a pair of scissors. Go. Doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be functional. Okay, next thing is to put, where are you? There we go. Put this into here. There we go, that fits in. And now we'll slide this end through the hole we made in the lid. So we've got this there, and underneath here you can see the pipe sticking out. And now this will just fit over the top of that, but it's got to be pressed in so it grabs the lid, which I can't do with one hand. Okay, that piece is on, and it's on top here. So all I need to do now is just cover it with some silicone caulk. So I've got some all-purpose caulk here. Got this from the dollar store, and it's good for use on tubs, sinks, windows, trim, and more. So it should mean it's waterproof. So I've got the caulk around it. There's no holes in. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And we've got it on the bottom too. So we've got plenty of protection against insects coming in. Should have plenty of protection against rodents getting in. And so we've got some ventilation that will hopefully allow some moisture to escape. Now this past spring when I opened up the root cellar and I was taking the various vegetables out, I forget who commented now, but they suggested instead of digging down through all the straw to get a basket and put a basket in the bottom, and then you can put your vegetables into here, cover them with straw, put a layer of straw on the bottom, cover them with straw, and then sit another basket on top. You can separate them by the type of vegetable, and then when you needed to, you could just pull out the basket you needed, and it would be a heck of a lot easier. And I thought that was a great idea. So I found these baskets at the Dollar Tree. I think they're perfect for the trash can, and I think it'll work. And then just one other thing that I did is I found these small, I guess, laundry bags at the Dollar Tree as well. And they come with a zipper. That you can open up. And then, so I was thinking putting the vegetables inside here, zippering it closed, and then putting them in the basket. And that way, maybe I could have potatoes, but have red potatoes in here, white potatoes in another one over there. And that way, they'll still all be separated, but together. So this is how I'm going to store the vegetables this year. So just to show you in action, give you an action shot, I can throw the basket in there with the vegetables in. That's actually a little small. I guess I could have gotten a little bit bigger maybe. And then I can take another one and then stick that on top of that and kind of build them up. And then if I have to, I can put a straw around the outside of the baskets. I don't have enough vegetables yet to fill up this root cellar. That's my ultimate goal. But I think this is going to work for what I need. And then I can take my lid, secure it on top, and there's the vent on it. And hopefully that should give me sufficient ventilation in here. I've seen a number of these trash can root cellars on YouTube, and I noticed that a few have gone back and put a similar type of ventilation system into their root cellars. So I'm hoping that this is going to work. Again, I don't cover my root cellar with any sort of insulation like other people have to, because it's protected inside the greenhouse. It still gets very cold in here, but it's not getting covered with snow and other things. And if you saw that straw in there, every now and then I get, when it rains really hard, we have had some really hard storms, and water does seep in from underneath the greenhouse or alongside the edges of the greenhouse, just like the mice. And the floor doesn't get soggy, but it can get wet, but it hasn't gotten into the garbage can, even though it's right at ground level. And that's because the lid seals it tight. So I'm hoping everything works out well, and that next year we don't have that condensation moisture problem inside the trash can. So if you want to see what we're doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along on the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.